Hey, what up, everybody? Stevie Breach coming to you. This is my Vengeance pay-per-view predictions video for this upcoming pay-per-view on Sunday. It does seem a little bit rushed. We are jam-packed full of pay-per-views since August, you could say. It just seems like every other week, it seems like they turn around, they're doing a pay-per-view with no build, and you have to sort of sit there and think about all the matches that are happening. And with the stuff I'm going to talk about, there's a match I don't even think WWE writers knew was going to happen. Because they booked one match and they changed it to another one in between Monday and Tuesday. But we haven't seen Vengeance since 2007. It switched to the Night of Champions after that. It was nice to bring back the name Vengeance. I don't think anybody's really going to go out and buy the pay-per-view because of the name. I'd much rather with them brought back the name Armageddon. I think Armageddon, basically got started because of the whole Y2K thing and into the world. And they were also started the McMahon Helmsley era, so that sort of like fit into the whole thing with Triple H versus McMahon at that time. So that pay-per-view fit for a while, but that's still one of my favorite names that they had for pay-per-views out there that they don't use anymore. But like I was saying, somehow between Monday and Tuesday, either the SmackDown and the Raw writers didn't know what was going on, but they have Dolph Ziggler booked in 2 matches. More than likely, it looks like they're going to be doing the Dolph Ziggler versus Zack Ryder match instead of the match that John Laurinaitis and Vicky Guerrero booked of Air Boom going up against Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler. I think that if they would have gone ahead with the tag title match, I was hoping that Swagger and Ziggler would win the titles. I think that group of that they haven't even really given a name to, but the guys that started the whole walkout with Christian and Del Rio, Swagger, and Ziggler, Cody Rhodes. That team looks a whole lot stronger when they have all the titles. It sort of gives their group more of a leverage. If they were really to walk out, that they'd be screwed. They'd be taking all the titles with them. So I was really thinking that it would make more sense if they would have won the titles. But then again, can you really take any heels seriously when they don't win the title on their first chance at it? They lost it at Hell in a Cell. So it looks like Ziggler is going to be fighting Zack Ryder. This is his first pay-per-view match that I can really remember in a long time, unless one snuck up on me and I forgot about it. But especially with it being a title match, this is pretty much a big deal for him. I'm not ready to pick him to win the championship. I think that they could use the Internet Championship as a prop, like they've been doing lately, and that's all he really needs. Plus, Dolph's such a good wrestler that he really makes that U.S. title mean something. Before it was just sort of like there, but if they let him do promos like he's been doing on the Zack Ryder show and like he was doing on Raw this week, that guy's got money written all over him. I wouldn't be surprised if he shot up to the main event sooner than later, especially with the absence of John Morrison, who might be leaving us sooner than later. But so I'm not ready to pick Ryder. I'm not ready to pick Ryder. I'll pick Ziggler in that match, but hopefully we can keep getting good matches out of the U.S. title match. And from there, we'll go to the Divas Championship. We'll just pick Beth Phoenix to beat Eve Torres. I don't think her reign as beating up the Divas is going to end, especially with the way that Eve Torres has sort of became the #1 contender, sort of because, I don't know, they named her #1 contender even before she beat Natalya on Raw. So I don't know how she got it, if it was on a house show or something like that, and how they got Kelly ran out of chances. I think there's a little bit of a hole in that storyline. Maybe they forgot the pay-per-view was so soon, and they just sort of pushed it up there so you knew what match would be out there. I don't think anybody buys the pay-per-views for the Divas matches anyways. But from there, we'll go to the World Heavyweight Championship match. I'll pick Mark Henry to beat the Big Show. I think Mark Henry's reign of championship has been real good. He's brought a lot of interest into SmackDown. And I don't think that's coming to an end anytime soon. For anybody thinking that it's just Mark Henry against the Big Show, you got to remember at Money in the Bank, man, these guys had an awesome match. I was really surprised. I was sort of down on that match, thinking that would be the time to get up and get some more Cheez-Its and a soda or something like that. But that match really, really surprised me on how good it was. So I wouldn't be surprised if they were able to deliver once again. I'll pick Henry in that. Hopefully this is the show's one-time chance at the title. I don't know where they go from here. If they go and they bring back Kane after this, and you go Kane versus Henry just to get him over as beating these monsters one after another. One way I think they could go is the Sheamus versus Christian match. That could probably be your #1 contenders match. If that is or becomes your #1 contenders match, either way, I think I'm going to pick Sheamus in this. Sheamus and Christian have sort of traded wins back and forth, but I think it's time that Sheamus reaches the main event as a face, and they've really pushed this guy as one of the main guys in WWE. They've had him sort of get a little bit more of a spotlight on these Raw Super shows than CM Punk, I think, making sure that people see him and making sure that he's a big deal. I'm really hoping that Sheamus does get this like a #1 contendership, or we get to see him fight at the Survivor Series against Mark Henry. I think that would be a good shot for him to get. I think Christian, like I said earlier, with that group of heels, it would be cool for him to get a some sort of way of something saying that he is going for a championship, so that heel group has more gold in it, or more chances to get gold. That just makes them more viable if they were to keep talking about how they're leaving because they're not being treated right. But I don't really see Henry versus Christian as a heel versus heel match being all that great. And plus, Mark Henry's sort of with that group anyways. He doesn't come out with the promos or anything like that, but you can sort of push him into that group because he is a heel and he is a champion at this time. We'll talk about the tag match. You got Triple H and CM Punk against R-Truth and The Miz. There has to be some sort of heel turn in this. I think Kevin Nash coming back is too easy. Plus, I don't know. It's been too long since we last seen Nash, and they haven't talked about him at all. There's been no mention or anything like that. So I think that is a little weird for him just to show up whenever he wants. Yeah, I know he's been doing a movie and he was fired by Triple H with a storyline, but if these guys really are, the Outlaws that Laurinaitis brought back, why didn't Nash come back when they brought back Miz and R-Truth a couple weeks ago on Raw? It just doesn't make sense to me. But I am looking for some sort of a screw job, so I'll pick the heels in this match, R-Truth and The Miz. I'm really hoping that R-Truth and The Miz sometime, either if it's a Raw match, I don't think they'll really be able to do it at Survivor Series, but because I'm guessing they'll probably be the heels in the tag match with Cena and The Rock. I'm guessing that's something they'd use. But put the damn tag titles on R-Truth and The Miz. If you want those things to matter, these are one of the few things that people really care about on Raw. They're really entertaining. It's not that they need them. People, they have credibility. Miz was a champion for such a long time. But I just think that put the belts on the guys that people care about. Kofi Kingston and Evan Bourne, they make the kids all stand up and cheer, yeah, when they come out. But for everybody else, they're just sort of like, all right, let's get going on to the next thing. Sort of a pairing of two guys that I just really don't care about. Evan Bourne a few times has made me, stand up and take a look at, but he's just a guy that they're never ever going to use right. He should be the underdog, such as like I guess you can say like Spike Dudley, getting more surprising wins, and he has beat my man Jack Swagger about 100 times, and he has pinned Sheamus on Raw in a tag match, and he's had a few moments where people actually thought this, where the ball was going to start rolling, but they never really have done it. Main event time. Oh no, I didn't even talk about main event time. I missed this match. Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. This isn't an Intercontinental title match, it's just sort of a grudge match because Orton's all pissed off that Rhodes laid him out and put a bag on his head. All in all, Randy Orton's going to win this match, but this will be the best wrestling match of the night. Guaranteed. This is the one people will be talking about. Randy Orton was a former champion. He was the Intercontinental champion at the time, and he had a match against Mick Foley. And that is the program that put Randy Orton on the map. I think that's what steered his career back towards the main event. It's what people realized that this guy was really good. He was really cooking. He was really cooking with gas, my grandma would say. But Orton's going to win this match, but Rhodes is going to get a huge rub on this. He is the Intercontinental champion. He has talked about, taking this title, the Intercontinental title, holding it for over a year to bring the more respect to it and just bring back the classic, way that they used to hold this title with guys like Steamboat and the Macho Man and Bret Hart and so on and so forth. So if they're really going to do that, I mean, he has to hold the title all the way until next August. So, I don't know. You can still be in the main event and have the Intercontinental title, because it's not like they make sure these titles are defended on every pay-per-view or anything like that. But I'm really looking forward to that. Cody Rhodes has really stepped up in the last while and made people really take notice of him. Main event match. Last man standing match. Del Rio versus John Cena. Nope, not excited. Not excited at all for this match. It's a last man standing match. So you would think it's got to be John Cena. He never loses these matches. He did lose the last man standing match against Edge because Big Show picked him up and slammed him through a one of those big lights on the side of the ramp coming down. He was all like in there, and that laid him out. So you have to be looking for some sort of a swerve. Who's out there that would help Del Rio that wants to see John Cena go down? I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. They haven't been laying any storyline into Del Rio bringing, some surprise guy or some surprise return to it. So if Del Rio's going to win this match, and he needs to win this match. This is his second time holding the title. You can't have him drop it at the first pay-per-view again after he's won it. Yeah, I understand that he was able to tour Mexico with the title, but honestly, I know John Cena is the face of your company, but they should have sent Del Rio down there and made him a face like when Bret Hart would run through Canada. I know Canada is always called Bizarro Land, and they don't really have to go out of their way. They always know that the Canadian guys are going to get, the pops over there. But like when, and when Nexus went to the UK for Monday Night Raw, like they didn't really go out of their way and do anything different, but they just cheered the hell out of them. But it was like Del Rio was in his own backyard, and it didn't even matter. It was like they made sure they went out of their way. That John Cena was the guy that everybody cheered for. And, I was sort of surprised that they had Del Rio lose the way he did in his home country. I just would have made sure that Del Rio was the talk of the town, that he was your champion, and he was bringing it back to bring respect to Mexico. And just they didn't do it. It's when I heard that they were going to Mexico and Del Rio was in talks to be the champion at that time, I was just seeing a whole different picture of stuff in my head, and why that didn't play out, I have no clue. But I've said some stuff about being saying Monday Night Raw has sucked for the last little while, and I'm real disappointed with WWE. But Vengeance looks to be a good pay-per-view that's worth your dollar, worth your checking it out. Pay that $6. Make sure that WWE gets a hold of that money, and check this one out because it's going to be a good pay-per-view, and there's definitely going to be some surprises. I'm really looking for some sort of a swerve or turn or something in the CM Punk Triple H match, and also in your Del Rio and John Cena match. Make sure you check those out.